All right, shalom, shalom. We're the real Hebrew Israelites coming day in and day out to prophesy the downfall of Babylon the Great, which is America. First off and foremost, all praises, honor, and glory be unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Makar Kodash. Double honors to the other apostles of Great Mills, and salutations to the elect, wherever you may be. Brother Shapaya from GMS Chicago coming at you again with another quick little lesson through the Spirit. Today's lesson is Psalms, the 78th chapter. All right, and then it gives you a brief, quick history between Israel and Yahweh. You know, certain works that the Lord did and things of that nature. All right, Psalm 78:1. Give ear, O my people, to my law. Incline your ear to the words of my mouth. I will open my mouth in a parable, and I will utter out dark sayings. All right, and this whole book is a parable. This whole book is a law. This whole book is filled with precepts, man. All right, and these are the words of the Lord. All right, and the Lord said, what? Incline thy ear. You have to bow your ear to even understand what is going on. All right, verse 3. Which ye have heard and known, and our fathers have told us. What did Paul say? I give you no new commandment. This is a commandment of old. All right, going all the way back to the oral law and the oral traditions, man. All right, the law has always been around. Hey, matter of fact, when you read Luke 4:1, it says this is the book of the law that endure forever. Okay, which is wisdom. All right, it says we will not hide them from their children, showing to the generation to come the praises of Yahweh and his strength and his wonderful works which he have done. All right, and that's one thing David said in the Psalms, that he was going to make known the Lord's name from generation to generation, because this is what we're supposed to teach our sons and daughters. Matter of fact, it is the law commanding us to tell our sons and daughters. Okay, but it's going to get a point in time where we don't have to do this no more, and that's going to be in the kingdom of heaven. All right, verse 5. For he established a testimony in Jacob and appointed a law in Israel, which he commanded to our fathers, that they should make them known unto their children. All right, that testimony and that law was only to Israel. All right, what's that? Psalms 149. No, Psalms 147, 19 and 20. Okay, verse 6. That the generation to come might know them, even the children which should be born, who shall arise and declare them unto their children, that they might set their hope in the power, and not forget the works of the power, but keep his commandments. And that's the point. We keep that legacy going, man. All right, we're the sons of the prophets, so we're just keeping that legacy going. This is all we can do, because this is what the Lord told us to do. Right, but it came a point in time where Israel fell off from that. Okay, it says going to inquire. Hold on. Maybe it's Job. I forget how it goes. So, like, let me see if I can get it. So, like, bear with me. Search what they filed. Let's search. Salakia. Let me see if I can find it this way. Here you go. Job 8:8. It says, for I inquire, I pray thee, the former age, and prepare thyself for the search of thy fathers, man. All right, and that's what we're going through now, man. Going through the history. Remember, hey, this is why this history was written. All right, things written aforetime was what? For our learning. So for things today, man, it says in the land of their captivity, they will remember themselves. This was the whole point. So from the beginning to the end, that vibration of Yahweh B'Shem Shai has always went out, to the point where that we would never forget him. Although there was a great falling away, but ultimately the elect was never going to let go of Yahweh B'Shem Shai. Okay. It says, verse 7, that they might set their hope in Yahweh and not forget the works of Yahweh, but keep his commandments, and might not be as their fathers, a stubborn and rebellious generation, a generation that has set not their heart aright, and whose spirit was not steadfast with the power. All right, this is how ungrateful Israel is. The children of Ephraim, being armed and carrying bows, turned back in the day of battle, and kept not the covenant of Yahweh, and refused to walk in his laws, and forgot his works and his wonders that he had showed them. Marvelous things that he did in the sight of their fathers in the land of Egypt, and in the field of Zoan. He divided the sea and caused them to pass through, and he made the waters to stand in a heap. All right? So hey, these are the great works. These are great works, all right, that the children of Israel had forgotten that the Lord did. This is the Passover I'm talking about. On top of that, how much more today? Everybody, all Easter. A lot of you people really don't know what Passover is truly about. You guys have forgotten that, all right? And not only that, these actual things that the Lord did for us, you people forgot about. You don't even think that we were those people that the Lord did that for. That's how far gone you guys are. Okay? It says, verse 14, in the daytime he led them with a cloud, and at night with a light of fire. He clave the rocks in the wilderness and gave them drinks as out of a great depth. All right? When Moses hit that rock and brought streams forth of a rock and caused that rock to run down like rivers. All right? And that rock represented Yahweh Shai. And that river was that wisdom. And they sinned yet more against him in provoking the Most High in the wilderness, because a lot of you niggas was imbeciles, unfaithful, right? Your incredulities, man, all your unbelief, basically. And they tempted Yahweh in their hearts by asking meat for their lust. And you know what the Lord did? He gave them manna that tasted to whatever they wanted to taste like. This is how stubborn Israel is. And you know, I'm just throwing this out there. Say if Jake wanted something, and you know how wicked Jake is, so just understand what I'm about to say. Say if Jake said, man, I want my manna to taste like pork, although it's not pork and ain't going off, hey, it would have, you know, it would have had that fucking flavor. All right? The Lord gave them whatever they wanted, and this is how just rebellious Israel was. They could have made it taste like chocolate cake, motherfucking shit, or whatever, jerk, whatever the fuck they could imagine, man. And that shows you what type of people the Lord has to deal with, man. And it's sad. Verse 19, yea, they spake against Yahweh. They said, can Yahweh furnish a table in the wilderness, because he smote a rock that the waters gushed out, or the streams overflowed? Can he give bread also? Can he provide flesh for his people? This is how they scoffed our Lord. Therefore the Lord heard this and was wroth. So a fire was kindled against Jacob, and anger came up against Israel, because they believed not in the power and trusted not in his salvation. And that's going to happen again. A lot of you people don't trust in the salvation of Israel to this day. The same great salvation we're talking about now, a lot of you people don't believe in. You think it's a myth. Verse 23. Though he had commanded the clouds from above and opened the doors of heaven, and he had rained down upon manna upon them to eat, and have given them the corn of heaven, man did eat angels' food. He sent them meat to the full. He caused the east wind to blow in the heavens, and by his power he brought it in the south wind, and rained flesh upon them as dust, and feathered flowers like the sand of the sea. And he let it fall in the midst of their camps round about their habitations. This is how much the Lord looked out for his people, man. Of overabundance, man. And they did eat and were filled, for he gave them their own desire. They were not strangled from their lust, but while their meats were yet in their mouths. It says, the wrath of Yahweh came down upon them and slew the fattest of them and smote down the chosen men of Israel. Hey, the Lord started judging Israel, man. For they all have sinned still and believed not for his wondrous works. Because what did they say when they came out of Egypt? They built the golden calf and said, "These be the gods that saved us out of Egypt," knowing damn well that damn calf didn't do that, man. Therefore, their days did he consume in vanity, and their years in trouble. 40 years, man, in that wilderness. And he slew them. Then they sought him, and they returned and inquired early of the power. And they remembered Yahweh with their rock and the high power, their redeemer. All right, so Jake started to come back in their remembrance. Nevertheless did they flatter him with their mouth, and they lied unto him with their tongues, like the Lord said. With their mouths they show me praise, but their hearts are far from me. Same thing that these people do to this day. Neither were they, hold on. For their hearts was not right with him, neither were they steadfast in his covenant. But he, being full of compassion, forgave their iniquities and destroyed them not. Or the Lord destroyed us little by little. Not like how he about to do these other nations. Yea, many a time he turned his anger away and did not stir up all his wrath. Remember, the Lord was about to make rocks out of for a new nation of Israel, man. And Moses begged to the Lord that he did it not. All right? It says, for he remembered that they were but flesh, a wind that passeth away and cometh not again. So the Lord understood we was in these chains of darkness. But Jake still had the opportunity, man. All right, how do you say, how do you say? Leisure. Basically, Jake got the liberty to do right, but they always choose to go off. But nonetheless, remember they was just flesh, and wind passed away and cometh not again. How oft did they provoke him into wilderness and grieve him in the desert? Yea, they turned their backs and tempted the Most High, and limited. They turned their back and tempted the Most High and limited the Holy One of Israel. They remembered not his hand, nor the day when he delivered them from his enemy. They don't remember Yahweh or Yahweh Shai. These the same people that said, "Let the blood of Yahweh Shai be upon them and their children," man. All right. It says how he wrought his signs in Egypt and wonders in the fields of wine, and how he turned the rivers into blood and their floods that they cannot drink. He sent diverse sorts of flies among them, which devoured them, and frogs, which destroyed them. He gave also their increase into the caterpillar, and their labor unto the locust. He destroyed their vines with hail, and their sycamore trees with frost. And he gave their cattle also to the hail, and their flocks into hot thunderbolts. And the Lord was destroying everything in Egypt, man. And that's what he's going to do again in this Egypt. And he cast upon them the fierceness of his anger, wrath and indignation, and trouble by the sending of evil angels amongst them. So the Lord was letting those angels run rampant. Hey, when you see all this death and destruction that goes amongst America, well, amongst the whole world, those ain't nothing but angels the Lord is unleashing to do his bidding, man. Judgment is judgment, no matter which way it come, man. Okay? And especially when you're talking about extreme destruction. That's the work of the Lord. All right? Whether it's from the left or the right, it's still the work of the Lord. All right? And he made a way to his anger. He spared not the souls from death. He gave their lives over to the pestilence. And smote all the firstborn in Egypt, the chief of their strength in the tabernacles of Ham. It says the chief in the strength in the tabernacle of Ham. All right? This was the height, the glory of fucking Ham, man. The Lord took that shit down. Hey, the hell with you Nuwapians, you Egyptologists, you Kemet ass niggas, man. You guys are sorry. All right? You Hotep ass niggas, man. Verse 53. And he led them on safely, so that they feared not, but the sea overwhelmed their enemies. And he brought them even into the border of his sanctuary, even into this mountain, which his right hand had purchased. So the Lord even brought these niggas to the borders, but they couldn't get in. Only Joshua and 20 and under got in. All right? It says, he cast out the heathen also before them and divided them inheritance by line and made the tribes of Israel dwell in their tents. That land of Israel was promised to the 12 tribes. Okay? Yet they provoked him, yet they tempted and provoked the Most High power and kept not his testimonies, but turned back and dealt unfaithfully like their fathers, and they turned aside like a deceitful boat. All right? And then you know what that sounds like? A deceitful woman. All right? A woman that cheats on her husband, man. That's what we basically did to the Lord. For they provoked him to anger with their high places and moved him to jealousy with their graven images. Because what happens when a man see his girl dealing with somebody else? They get jealous. So jealous that the man go kill that other man and the fucking woman. All right? That's how the Lord feel about us. All right? It says, for you provoked him to anger with the high places and moved him to jealousy with their graven images. When Yahweh heard this, he was wroth and greatly abhorred Israel. He hated them. All right? So that he forsook the tabernacle of Shiloh and the tent which he had placed amongst men, and delivered their strength into captivity and his glory into his enemies' hands. So we went into slavery because the Lord gave us over into slavery because we didn't listen to him. Not because these fucking heathens or Esau was just mighty themselves. No, we went off, and this is our judgment. Slavery was our judgment, man. Okay? All the shit that we're going through now, these curses is our judgment because of what we did unto the Lord. And once you understand that, you will be able to correct your own self, man. Well, if you of the elect. All right? It says, verse 62, he gave his people over unto the sword and was wroth with his inheritance. And who's the sword? Esau. All right? Not only these people getting slayed out here, all right, but the Lord gave his people over to Esau. Verse 63, the fire consumed their young men, and their maidens were not given into marriage. The priests fell by the sword, and the widows made no lamentation. When Yahweh awakened as one out of sleep, and like a mighty man he shouted by reason of wine. And he smote his enemies in the hinder parts, and he put them to a perpetual reproach. Moreover, he refused the tabernacle of Joseph and chose not the tribe of Ephraim. Hey, so the Lord, at one point in time, he switched sides. All right? He allowed these other people to get the upper hand on us, man. He chose, and hey, check this out. He chose not the tribe of Judah, the Mount of Zion, which he loved, and he built his sanctuaries like high palaces, like the earth, which was established forever. He chose David also his servant, and took him from the sheepfolds, from following the ewes great with young. He brought him to feed Jacob his people and Israel inheritance. So he fed them according to the integrity of his heart and guided them by the skillfulness of his hands. All right. So hey, these are all the things that the Lord did for us. All right. Hold on. Hey, man, and we fucked up with the Lord straight up to the point where he had to turn his back on us, man. Man, hey, man, Yahweh Shemel Shai Hawashai Nawa, man. Straight up, man. And guess what? We following King David again, man. This is the third temple. All right, hey, the elect, hey, follow the voice of the Lord wherever source it goeth, man. Righteous man follows 7 times, man. Hey, but the elect is perfect. So with that, I'm gonna say all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Makar Kadash. Double honors to the old apostles of great millstone, salutations to the elect, wherever you may be. Read that Psalms 78, it'll piss you off, man.